You might surprise yourself with how many sales you can make online once you find product market fit. And I'm going to explain what that is in this video. But regardless of whether you're selling a physical product, a digital product, or offering a service and promoting it online, finding product market fit can be the difference between making limited sales and, literally your customers chasing you down to buy your product or your service. So product market fit essentially is finding what your customers are really in the market for buying, like what they really want to purchase. And finding product market fit sometimes can be a combination of doing deep research, but also testing the market. So testing different products or services and figuring out, how your customers respond to each one and which ones people actually want to buy. And I want to give a little bit of an example of how I found product market fit in some of my online businesses. So the first online business that I had was in the e-commerce game. So I used to sell products online on platforms like eBay and Amazon, etc. And one of the things that I did was wholesaling. Now, I know a lot of people do thrifting, or they go to thrift stores or charity shops or wherever it might be, and they find products at a discount and they post it on eBay and Amazon and they make a profit from it. But what I used to do was wholesale. So I would find a product that was in demand, lots of sales generated, and I'll see if I can penetrate that market by buying it at wholesale and benefiting from, a cheaper unit cost, and then selling that product individually online and making profit off each product. But those of you who have wholesaled before, you will know that it can be risky buying a product in bulk because you don't always know if it's going to sell. And back in those days, I had my products in my home. So I didn't want a product that didn't sell, obviously, because it would cost me money, but also it's going to take up storage space in my home. So one of the things I did to ensure that my products would sell is, once I found a product that was doing relatively well online, I could see other people selling it, I wanted to know if I could sell it at a profit. So what I would do is I would list that product online as if I had it. So I didn't have it in stock. This is also known as drop shipping. And when someone would buy it from me, I would buy it from another supplier and send it to my customer. So I would drop ship that product sometimes at a loss, just to see if when I list it, it would actually sell at the price that I want to sell it for. And I would continue doing that, sometimes losing loads of money in the process because I'm buying it from another supplier who's selling it at a retail cost, and I'm sending it to my customer. So I'm having to pay for shipping, I'm having to pay the fees to sell on whatever platform I sold it on. But I want to make sure that I can sell that product consistently at the price that I want to sell it for. And once I notice that, yes, this product is selling really well, then I would go and buy it at wholesale and then relist the item on, whatever platform I was selling it on. And you can do a similar thing with your products or your services. That gave me the reassurance that when I would buy that product in bulk, that it would sell because I've already tested the market. And for those of you who understand how, the product game works, essentially the more products you buy from your wholesaler, the cheaper you can get that product for in terms of unit cost. So that means I could actually, buy loads of that product knowing that it's going to sell well because I've already tested the market. I've lost money up front just to try and find product market fit. And there were times where I would drop ship a product just to test if there was product market fit, to test if I could sell it at the price I would need to sell it for to make a profit. And sometimes it would tank, if no one would buy or not enough people would buy to justify me buying a bunch of that product from a wholesale supplier. And that would save me loads of money later on down the line because I just wouldn't invest in those products rather than having the product sitting in my inventory. So that's one way of testing product market fit. But another way is actually testing ads against your products or your services. So let's say you're in a serviced business and let's say you're a cleaning company, for example. You might want to test different adverts that promote different types of services that you offer. So maybe you have an advert promoting your deep clean. Maybe you have an advert promoting your end of tenancy clean. And maybe you have another advert for hotels. Maybe you offer a service for hotels, cleaning hotel rooms. And you put all of those adverts out, and they might more or less be the exact same advert, but just targeting different types of cleans. And you might notice that actually one drastically outperforms the other. And this might be where you find product market fit. So if you notice that the end of tenancy clean tends to be the one that loads of people are going for, then you may have just found product market fit. You may have just found what the market wants. Maybe there's just not enough people offering high quality end of tenancy cleans at a competitive price. And if you can come in there and really be a leader in that particular niche, then you can potentially do extremely well and make a whole load of money doing that. So as well as testing what people actually want using some of the methods that I've mentioned in this video, you can also do some extensive research to figure out what people are actually searching for. So I use tools like the Google Keyword Planner tool, which tells you how many searches per month any keyword is getting in Google. And this could give you an idea for, what people are searching for in your industry. So that might be where you start. You can also use some other, more premium SEO tools like SEMrush or Ubersuggest to really get a taste for what your customers are actually searching for online. And this could give you a good indicator of what products or what services they are in the market for actually buying. You also want to see what's already on the market. So I do this quite often as well. So I'm based in the UK, and if I'm starting a business, selling a product or selling a service in the UK, I might look over to other countries and see what products are they selling in other countries that's doing really well that maybe haven't hit the UK yet. And that's a way of me kind of seeing, a really hot in demand niche that maybe hasn't gravitated over to the UK yet, and I could bring it over here and I can see the success that they're having. I could potentially have a similar success here. Now, that doesn't always translate. Just because something's working in another country doesn't mean that it's hot in demand here as well, but it's a good indicator. So that could be a great place for you to start. Where a lot of people go wrong with making money online is they focus so much on the money and they don't focus enough on the customer and what the customer actually wants and what will bring extreme value to that customer. Regardless of whether you're doing affiliate marketing, drop shipping, selling your own physical or digital products online, or offering a service online, you really want to think about what product or service will bring great value to the end user, to the end customer, and what other alternatives are there in the market for what it is that you're actually selling. When you take the time out to do this empathy marketing exercise, it's a lot easier for you to think of a product that your customers will absolutely love and really want to buy. If you're only thinking about the money and you're not thinking about the quality of the product or the service that you're putting out there, or how valuable it's going to be to someone in your marketplace, in your niche, then you're always going to be chasing the money. And there's not a lot of money in that, to be honest with you. Where the money really lies is building something that is actually worth buying. And especially in the day and age that we're in, where people leave reviews, and those reviews are read not just by other people, but by things like ChatGPT and Claude. If your product or your service isn't good, then people may buy it, but they're going to leave bad reviews, which is going to ultimately look bad on your brand, and your future sales are going to suffer as a result. So finding product market fit, yes, is about testing and seeing what people actually want to buy, but it's also about taking the time to make sure that you're offering an extremely valuable product or service that your target customers not only want to rush to buy, but when they buy it and when they invest in it, they're really satisfied with the purchase and they want to purchase it again or refer it to their friends and their family members. And we're also living in a day and age now where if people love your product, not only are they speaking to their friends and family, but they're most likely posting it on their stories as well, which can bring positive and negative feedback back to your product and service. So yes, you want to find product market fit. Yes, you can use some of the strategies in this video and test to see if people will buy it, but you also want to ensure that your product is high quality. And when I was in the e-commerce game, one of the things that I would do is buy the product myself before I put it online so that I can test the product and see if it's good, see if it actually matches the description, so that when people purchase it from me, they're not leaving negative reviews, because negative reviews just impacts your future sales and the longevity of you making money online. So if you take anything from this video, yes, find product market fit, but make sure you're really satisfying your customers with your products. And if you can do that effectively, then you will build a money-making machine online. So hopefully you found these tips helpful. It does help this video out if you can smash that like button down below. So if you got value from this video, please hit that like button so I can keep producing more videos like this. But until next time, have a great day, and I'll see you soon.